Good afternoon, friends. Well, today's the day. Today is the last step with the shovel head until we put it into the actual frame itself. Now, I'm not going to put the generator on or the carburetor on just because it's more things that are bulky to be able to carry and put in the frame. This thing's already heavy enough as it is, and I'm going to struggle to get this thing in the frame. It's probably going to be one of those things where I have to call a friend, have them come help me so the two of us can finagle it into the roller. I'm not sure yet. I know right now it's hard enough for me to lift this thing, and I don't want to risk damaging the engine or the frame or myself. But anyway, today we're working on push rods, pushrod tubes, and all of the parts to put this thing together. I'll run you through the process. It's pretty easy for the most part. I do have solid push rods in this, so I'll show you how to go ahead and install those, what's needed, what I have, and how to put everything together. Anyway, let's get our camera moved, and we'll show you that process. We've got our parts laid out for everything. Our push rod tubes, our gaskets, or our cork gaskets, I should say, our wrenches, covers. I know I need to polish a couple more parts yet, and I will work on that in a little bit here. But I want to start with the push rods themselves. Now, these are typically different lengths. The front one here is your front exhaust, or the first one I should say, the one all the way on the right. This is your front exhaust. And typically your rear exhaust is a little bit longer than your two intake tubes. But what I'm seeing here, everything looks to be the same size otherwise, but I do know that this is the front one, and that's the one that's got to go into, like I said, the front exhaust. Now these are set up a little different. Typically they're the same size. Now when it comes to the wrenches needed, now these are two different sizes. One's a 1/2 inch, one's a 7/16. Typically your jam nut and your bottom nut are the same size. This is different for whatever reason. Usually they are both the same size. Obviously the adjuster on the bottom here is the same 7/16 as the jam nut itself, but I'm not going to use another 7/16 wrench. I'll hold it in place with a 1/2 inch. I will go ahead and show you the pushrod tube assembly and how I hold it in place in a moment here. When it comes to your pushrod tubes, you have your lower tube, you have your inner tube here, you have a cork gasket, and you have a spring. So this is what everything springs against. Now these do fit kind of tight. The cork is going to fit tightly in there for the first few times. That will eventually wear in place. They typically should fit a little nicer in there, but for whatever reason, these ones are a little thick, and maybe that's going to be an issue. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure. I can press it in. Hopefully that doesn't cause me some grief later on down the way. It may. I'm not sure. I've taken my parts over to the polisher and I polished everything up kind of nicely. I know this isn't perfect, and honestly, they probably never were going to be. These are old parts. I didn't want to buy new parts. I'm going to eventually hit these with like a Honda spray wax to get everything really clean and shiny, or as shiny as it's going to be for good used parts. Again, it's good enough for me. I didn't want to replace it with new parts. These are good and usable parts, so they're clean enough. Next, we'll talk about gaskets. Now, there's cork seals that go into this. There are 3 different ones. Well, actually, there's 2 different sizes. There's a large size and a small size. Now, the small size will fit onto your tube. So that would actually fit on here and then slide all the way up like this one is. Also, these small ones fit into the top of the head. So we'll go ahead and we'll stick these in here. You want to get them in as far as you can get them. And then the large ones fit in the bottom here. So again, we'll put those in place and we'll push those down. So right into the block. Now we'll repeat that process 3 other times with these other cork gaskets, pushing them into the block here. Trying to make sure that they're down as far as you can get them. And then we have our 3 little ones left. And like I said, those need to go into the rockers. So there's a hole for your rocker shaft, or excuse me, your push rod tube and your push rod to go through. These go into each one of the holes. Again, you want to push those in as far as you can get them. And they should stay. Being that these are new, they should stay exactly where you put them. With our gaskets in place, now it's time to start assembling push rod tubes and push rods. So we'll start by taking one of our uppers, one of our lowers, we'll put the 2 together, and we'll take our first push rod, which like I said, is the longest one. We'll just slide that into the tube, and then we'll set these on the bench. Again, repeating the process. Try to keep these as pushed together as possible, and you'll see why in a little bit here. Now what we want to do is we want to set our push rods off to the side, and we want to rotate the engine over to get the lifters to drop all the way down. So I want to start with my front exhaust. So I want to get that to the bottom, and it's pretty close right now. But we'll get everything out of the way and we'll bottom this thing out. Now this is all stuff that you can find very good videos of online. I probably won't be able to show it the best. I'm going to turn the engine and possibly you'll be able to see the lifters moving. One of the things to keep in mind is when you're actually turning the engine over, you don't want to have the spark plugs in. Of course, the intake should be open and no exhaust on. It makes it easier to turn. So as I'm rotating this around, see it's going up. Now we want this to drop all the way down. This is hard to do one-handed. See our intake's dropping all the way down, and now our exhaust is clear at the bottom as well. With that in the bottom, we're going to go ahead and put our push rod in place. One of the little tools that I've made is I have some wire, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this top wire here, I'm going to wrap it around. I'll take my first push rod, and you want to get it into the pocket there. And that's in the pocket. You can see there's a lot of play here, a lot of slop. We'll set that down for a minute. So what I want to do is I want to have a hoop here. Getting ahead of myself here. So I like to have a little hoop here. Just wrap it around the oil line there. I have this hoop now. Now I can hang this like this, and this has two little hooks on the end. So what those hooks are going to do is they're actually going to hold the push rod covers up, but I want to put my second tube in place. So again, we'll fish this into the head here, we'll put it in its spot. All right, with my two tubes in place, what I want to do is I want to take out the slop. Obviously you can see there's a lot of slack here and that's not good. So I'm just going to spin this around until it's kind of in place. And you want this to rotate freely. So there's one. I'm going to go ahead and work on this exhaust next. Again, we're just turning this as far as I can get it by hand. I'm going to take the up and down out. That's the biggest thing, is taking the up and down out, making sure they're still able to be turned. So now these are in place. So now I'll take my homemade loop here. I'll push my covers up as far as I can get them. As you can see, I've got my wire here, and I kind of have this cobbled a little bit. Okay, with my rear two lifters all the way bottomed out, I'm going to go ahead and install my intake first, and then we'll work on the exhaust second. Again, we'll take our tube and our whole assembly, we'll fish it up into the hole here, and then we'll guide this back, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to slowly take out the slack here. Like I said, we don't want any up and down play, but we do want it to rotate smoothly. This does not move up and down, but it does rotate side to side. Last, we'll put on our exhaust push rod here. So we'll, again, fish that into its home. We'll get this in place. You can see there's a ton of space here, so we'll start working this thing down. It rotates nicely. There's no up and down. Now we just need to hang these push rod covers. Okay, now we can see that our push rod tubes are all hung the way they should be. We can see our push rods for the rear cylinder are loose like they should be. Like I said, we want a little bit of play there, no up and down. I want to move the motor around again. I want to rotate it, and I want to check the front too to see if there's any up and down play and see how loose they are. Obviously with the valves being up, actually the exhaust valve is all the way up. The intake valve is down, so it does have some rotation there, but it's not quite bottomed out all the way. There may be some up and down play there. I want to take that out. If you don't take the up and down play out, obviously your valves won't open the way that they should. It'll make a lot of noise, and this engine will not run properly. Okay, I've rotated the engine around again. I do have my front two valves completely closed in the head. So I want to check my push rods here. I want to see if there's any up and down, maybe a slight bit there. There's quite a bit there, so we want to take that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this in place. I'm just going to turn this a little bit. Again, we want this to spin freely enough. A little bit of drag, no up and down, still a little bit up and down. Okay, it's got a good amount of drag. See, I tightened that one too much now, and it does churn. That one actually might be okay. It's no up and down. No up and down. Now I'm going to take my jam nuts here, and I'm actually going to position them to be in place. Now I'm not going to tighten these all down, but this will help keep things kind of secure. I don't want to move this a whole bunch. That's the biggest thing, is trying to keep this all together so you're not going back and forth on this stuff. Again, we'll check the up and down play to make sure that's fine. We'll rotate these. I like the movement there. That feels fine. Now with the front two set, I want to go ahead and rotate the engine over to get the rear two valves to close. That way I can check these again. I will check them a couple of times just to see if everything is moving nicely, if there's no up and down play. Once that's all set, then I'll lock the jam nuts in place. Now that I've got these mostly set, I want to go ahead again and I want to get my jam nuts close. Again, checking your up and down. There's a little up and down there, which I don't want. Now that I've gone through and I've got all of these close, now I want to do each individual valve. So I'll watch each one of these rotate down to the bottom. Once each lifter gets to the bottom, I'll check each specific tube. And once I have each tube checked, then what I will do is I will go ahead and I will tighten them down to make sure everything's locked in place. I've got my front exhaust all the way at the bottom, checking for up and down. We got just a slight bit there, taking that all the way out. Now our jam nut just needs to get pushed in place here. We'll grab our 1/2-inch wrench. It's gonna be hard to show. 1/2-inch wrench, our 7/16, and we'll lock this thing in place. Now once it's locked in place, you want to make sure it still turns, that there's no up and down. There still is a little bit, so we're going to unlock that. And again, this is going to be a little bit of a back and forth project. You know, you're going to tighten these up, loosen them, tighten them up, loosen them. I know some guys are really good at this, and I'd say they're an expert. I am not. As you all know, I'm kind of a novice with this stuff. No up and down. That one turns. Now I've got the rear intake all the way down. We'll check for the up and down. No up and down. It does spin free. So now we want to get that jam nut locked in place. All right, now that we've got this intake spinning nicely, no up and down play, we'll rotate the engine over again. Now we're onto our front intake. That's all the way down. No up and down play, does spin freely. We'll get our jam nut closed here, and we'll lock that one in place. Now that that one spins free, we'll go ahead and rotate it around and get the last one. Okay, we're on to our exhaust rear here. This one does spin nicely. It does not move up and down at all. So we will attempt to lock this one in place. All right, that one is free spinning and locked into place. Now we can pull our little apparatus out of the way here. Next, what we need to do is we need to push our tubes all the way up. And these are kind of a bear a little bit just because of that gasket in there. This one's not that bad. We want to get as close as possible. On to the next one. Now Motion Pro makes this handy dandy little tool here, and this is to spread these tubes. So what you do is you grab on, there's a hook here, it's got two little feet on it, and this little guy here. And what we're going to do is just to move this stuff up for now and get this tube spread apart because these things are tight. It gets us closer. As you can see with that motion, what it does, it pulls this collar down and holds it in place. So that's how you install your clips. So what we'll do is we'll start with the rear exhaust. You just want to kind of seat this in place. Hard to show. But we'll push that retainer down. We'll get this fished up all the way in there. And then we'll get our clip in place. And we'll just let it out and it just holds the top and the bottom in place. Everything's tight. We'll do that 3 more times. And there you have it. Push rods are installed, all the tubes are in place, and everything looks good. Well, friends, there you have it. This motor has come together finally. Now, I know it took a long time to get this thing done, and I'm not finished with it yet. I know I need to put on the carburetor, I know I need the generator, and I know there's some miscellaneous parts that need to go on here yet that I don't have. I've got things on order again, but it's ready to drop into the motorcycle. So I need to figure out if I can do this myself or if I need to get some friends. Now, I want to give a big shout out to Motion Pro. I love their tools. They've got specialty tools for just about everything. There's a couple companies that I buy things from, and Motion Pro does make a very good, quality sound tool. They're not sponsoring me or anything like that. I just like their products. And when I find something I like to talk about it and tell you about it. Obviously, I'm a big Milwaukee tool fan. All the tools in the shop are Milwaukee tools for the most part. Motion Pro for their specialty tools. And then, of course, then there's Fast Eddie. I use a lot of his stuff as well. So great tools. If I recommend it, I definitely recommend you guys check it out too. Of course, friends, if you liked the video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. And I really appreciate that feedback. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in that comment section below. This engine's ready to go on the motorcycle, so if you have not subscribed yet, you're going to want to subscribe to see this thing come together. You may not know what this bike is going to be. Obviously, the engine's a 66, and there's some 66 parts, and you've seen some of the things coming along with this bike, and I know you guys watched it get torn apart, but I would bet that seeing it come together is going to be even more exciting. So if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, you might want to be. Anyway, friends, I appreciate you all. I thank you for watching my videos. I thank you for commenting back and forth. I thank you for my members who have joined the membership program. I just appreciate you all. Anyway, I'm out of here. We'll catch you on the next one.